Hi, this week's Friday night film was Anna, the most recent production by Luc Besson, who pioneered the cinéma du look of Hollywood-style French films in the 1980s, had great success in the 90s with Léon and The Fifth Element, then took an extended break from filmmaking to become one of the top French film producers, generating a whole factory of action adventure thrillers, returned to filmmaking and directing, uh, produced uh, not Valerie in the City of a Thousand Planets, Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets, which was the biggest flop in French cinema history. And this was his supposed comeback. Um, if you've seen Nikita, it is the same. Um, the film is told partially in flashback, and it's the story of a fashion model recruited in Moscow at the end of the 1980s, become successful. But we realize after some flashbacks following her apparent murder of one of her bosses that she's actually previously been recruited into working for the KGB as an assassin, having been plucked off the streets after her junkie boyfriend uh, perpetrated a failed bank robbery. So she is acting as a KGB assassin under the cover of being an international fashion model. And the CIA get wind of it, and it winds up with both sides playing against each other, and Anna trying to play them against each other as well. As I say, it's basically the same as Nikita. The difference here is that the lead actor, Sasha Luss, is not an actor. She is a model, and it shows because she's not a very good actor. Um, and generally, the film is quite weak. Um, there's lots of crossing and double crossing. There's jumping back and forth in time to explain sudden twists in the plot. It's really nothing terribly engaging or original, but most prominently, it made me feel uneasy because allegations have been made about Besson's behavior. None of these have been translated into convictions, but when there are a lot of allegations from different people on different occasions, one has to suspect that there's something there, and he's not going to sue me because no one's listening to me. I'm well aware of how few viewers I get, so um, so the film is about a woman who manipulates men, controls men, plays them off against each other. But there is a constant thread of sexual violence throughout the movie. Chronologically, her earliest scene is of her being raped by her boyfriend. There is scenes later on of her seducing men and there being threats of sexual violence. It all feels quite. This is this is the kind of idea of women that Besson projects, that women are manipulators, that men are blameless, so that excuses anything unpleasant that he might do towards women, like enacting unpleasant rape scenes that don't have any real need to be in the movie. She's a junkie who's controlled by her boyfriend. That's enough. You don't have to add rape into it as well. Or start with a close up of her face as she's being raped. I mean, this is gross. Um, Helen Mirren plays her boss, and we have Luke Evans and Cillian Murphy as her contacts in the KGB and the CIA. I think they're all very much better than this material. They're all three are great actors. Luke Evans is maybe not a big star, but he's done a great deal of support work and I think television work that I've been impressed by. Cillian Murphy's a great actor. Helen Mirren is obviously a great actor. Sasha Luss is not. Um, but this feels like a creepy old man made the movie, and people either didn't get it or didn't respond to it in perhaps the way that might they might have. Um, it's not. I mean, even with the best one in the world, it's not a very good movie. Nikita, I found quite dull. This manages to also be quite dull and quite poorly written. There are bits that don't make sense. The flashback structure is clumsy. But again, it just comes back to being weird and unpleasant and creepy. And even aside from that, it's not very good. And with that, it's really doesn't pass any kind of test at all.